Yeah, we have video to show people what was going on before they got there. I don't think that's bad for them to have watched either. I mean, the point that you're making is a good one, and that is a battle cry on the left about how you're not allowed to help because we got it all. And then on the other hand, you've got people like Representative Maxine Waters, who's 86 and is in her 18th term, a really good argument for term limits, talking directly to the National Guard's troops who are there, saying, you know, if you try to shoot me or a politician or a kid out there, you better shoot straight at me. I mean, what is that about? There's so much nonsense going on the left around this issue. That's her state. She can't go meet with some particularly minority businesses that are being burned to the ground and having most of these problems. Senator Blackburn said that the last hour. She can't go help solve some people's problems or at least listen to their concerns within communities that are losing their small businesses and their houses. No, they have to fight and complain about Trump. This is the Democratic Party.
You know, you've got this back and forth, and you have one person, Newsom, who's tried to make this entirely about President Trump. And interesting on the heels of President Trump laying out a policy intended to help the people of Governor Gavin Newsom's state on the issue of wildfires.
Yeah, and look, part of what we learned during this really informative presser was that, first of all, our disaster funding right now is flush and funded. $13 billion. We are ready for this season. That was even before the hurricane comments. This was about wildland fires specifically. And to learn that we are burning more timber than harvesting, that for every dollar that we reap from harvesting, we are spending $100 either on woefully inadequate fire prevention or in those losses. You know, for me as a Californian, who I have so many friends that are still out of their homes in the LA fires, like we've talked about, fighting with insurance adjusters, flying in, going in all the time, hours on the phone, trying to get funding. That's Governor Gavin Newsom's watch. I have friends from Northern California that are still absolutely decimated from the prior fires. To accept this as somehow a way of life, a seasonal existence, blaming it on climate change, but ignoring the human element of mismanagement, just such incompetence. And to have this governor continue to make it all about Trump and continue to make it all about his attention-seeking tweets and his sound bites is so infuriating to me. The people that have lost their lives in those fires, the people that continue to struggle under his watch while he looks in the mirror and pats himself on the back is just absolutely unacceptable. And I hope moving forward that in the weaning away from FEMA and in the weaning away from these incompetent governors, we're going to see who separates from the wheat from the chaff, who can't handle actual gubernatorial existence in their government and their governance of these states, because I think it's pretty clear that Gavin Newsom can't cut it.